Hi, I'm Carol Ambergy. I'm here with you today to share some art lessons that also support academic learning. I was privileged in my lifetime to have taught elementary education. I also was very lucky to have been asked to teach elementary art toward the end of my career. When I was teaching elementary art, I realized how many academic lessons actually coordinate and how many lessons could be developed to further the academic studies in the classroom. It was a real challenge to mesh the two, and I just enjoyed it so much. So I'm hoping to share that with you. What I'm going to share with you today is a lesson called Worry Warriors. I made this lesson after going to Arizona and learning about little worry dolls of the Pueblo culture. These little worry dolls, and here are some even smaller ones on this hat band. These little worry dolls were often taken and put under pillows so little children could tell their worries to, or their fears, or their concerns. And I was very touched by that idea. Plus the importance of the Pueblo culture and storytelling in our history. The other fun thing about this lesson is that it involves recycling and kids' creativity. Every kid loves to make things. So I decided, instead of making little miniature worry dolls, that they could and would enjoy making great big worry warriors. These worry warriors are going to be totally made out of recycled materials. They will require an adult's help at time, and they will require several days to complete, which is another good lesson in art. I found that as a teacher, in our society today, so many children are just expected to finish something quickly, and that's the way we live. But in art, it really teaches the kids, no, you're not going to finish in 30 minutes. No, you might even need 2 30-minute periods. So I think that's a true benefit to teaching art. So to assemble our worry warriors, I usually let the children go through, sort out, and pick out what recyclables they would like to use. And with the more the variety, the more choices they're going to have. And it's a real trial and error process for what will work and what won't work, as you will see. So for this project, I decided to use this juice bottle, and I like the handle. I also like that you can use the lid. We could use the lid for a nose, whatever. And also with something like this, if you chose to leave the body clear, you could fill it with things. You could fill it with little colorful pom-poms. You could fill it with shells or any little collection that your child may have. So that's just another choice that they can have. So for the arms, for our worry warrior, I have this piece of recycled, very stiff cardboard, and I already cut this out. This is a project that may need some adult supervision here and there, so it was hard to cut that plastic. There are my arms. Your child can also choose whether they want it to be symmetrical or asymmetrical. So again, that's another little lesson that can be thrown in there. So I have the arms, I have that, and now I need to do something with the face. So I took just a plastic cardboard, or a plastic egg carton. You can use a cardboard egg carton and use these for eyes. Okay? So this will need to be hot glued, but I also went through my beads and buttons, and I found I had these lovely beads. So this would go on the front to give it an extra pop, and then I think I'm going to make her have blue eye. So I'm going to put these two together, and when they're hot glued together, they will look like this eye. So, all right, so I'm going to take my glue gun, and again, this is probably the part that the adult is going to be doing. So I'm going to put a little hot glue here, a dab here, and whoops, assemble this eye unit. You can also use liquid glue for a lot of this, but I find that it takes longer to dry. And that is for the little button part. I've also used plastic bottle caps for eyes. They look really cute. You can put a little wiggle eye if you happen to have any of those around. Drop that eye in there. Give it just a minute to set up. And then I'm going to glue this whole thing here. So, hot glue gun. It might require some trimming. Again, that's also a learning lesson for your child as to, will flat surfaces and curved surfaces, how will you get things to stick? So, I'm going to try that, and again, it's trial and error, so your kids are learning all the time. Stick this, wrap it around, and hold it for a minute. Maybe. Okay. I might have to tip this upside down or on its side while that sets up. Then I can turn it around and put glue on the other end too. Oh, welcome, Mozzie. All right. I guess the cat wanted to come and see how this Worry Warrior was doing. So I'm continuing just to hold this down until it sets. At this point, I'm not too worried about if there's too much glue or if it's spilling over a little bit. We'll make do. Okay, so while that's drying, I have chosen from my recycle bin also just a little piece of packing material, and I think these would make a really good base. So put it on like this, and your child can maybe make these into feet. If he or she wants to have 4 feet, it's his or her creation. So any way that you want this little Worry Warrior to go. So what I'm going to do is just put a little dab of glue on each corner and set the body on it. So I put glue on each corner and just going to set that on so it dries better. It's the point of contact. Okay, so our next step would be to paint the body or the arms, whatever you wanted to do. You can always add hands, and you can, at one point, you can paint the feet. I've also had children take construction paper and cut out crazy feet. You could cut out that. I'll show you after the rest is painted here how we can do that. Then I have a tray here of some things that I have collected that I think I'm going to use possibly for the trim. Now these trims I don't want to put on until after it's been painted and dried. So we're going to do that next, and then this is what we're going to use for hair for this little Worry Warrior, which will look adorable. Okay, so next to the painting. Depending on what kind of tempera paint you have, regular tempera paint will work on this. Tempera cakes will not work if you're familiar with that. Watercolor will not adhere to the plastic. So I'm just using these little samples of interior house paint and on this Worry Warrior. And since I think I'm going to definitely make this one a girl, and I did like the idea about being able to put some collections in the bottom, and that those can be changed out according to whatever your child wants. So what I'm going to do is just decided I'm going to leave a little space at the end for your child to put whatever he or she collects. And I'm going to do the lower part green, sort of like a skirt, or it could be pants, whatever. This green kind of goes with the little green handle. So your child can, of course, can paint all the way around. And you could leave a little space at the bottom for that collection. Now, also, I didn't do anything with these feet. I could have painted them the same color as the arms, and then after it was dry, we could draw pretty toenails on it, or nail polish, or flip-flops or something on it. So anyhow, so that's what it is. Gonna let it dry, and when we come back after this is dry, we're going to put on some trims. And for the trims, I was thinking of obviously the hair, which will look really cute. So we're gonna put some hair on when it's all dry. So that'll be her hair. And we could use a lid for a nose. We could use a button for a nose. I also have little bows like this that can be hot glued on easily. Found a piece of a punch out from a box, can be the mouth. Or if you didn't want blue, flip it over. Use a marker or a paint brush and whatever color mouth you want to do. So our Worry Warrior is dry. And I went ahead and I painted her feet, and I thought how much fun it would be to have little toenails painted red so they would show up. Another detail your child could do is somehow make shoes out of these or boots out of these, whatever your child desires. Also, this one is missing our hands on the ends of the arms, and your child could do that with whatever you wanted him or her to do. Perhaps could be holding something. So we had already glued on everything, and the top is open. Now we left the top open with a little window here and a little window in the back. So what I'm going to do, since I have a whole bunch of these buttons in my collection, I am just going to go ahead and drop in some more buttons right in the open hole. Like I said, you could fill it up with shells from the beach, little things collected on a hike, all kinds of things. If it was my grandson, he probably would be putting in little skeletons of skinks and things like that. So anyhow, so now you can kind of see through the window in the front and in the back. Okay. Totally an optional feature. So now our Worry Warrior needs some hair. So I happened to buy some ribbons. So this is only 2 ribbons. I think they were 2 for $1, and I'm going to put this hair right on her. There's also commercial hair that is awfully cute. It comes in different colors, different lengths, and different styles. And that would look really cute too. But I think this ribbon for our purpose does a great job. Look, if I can just get it to hang right. I also took one of these ribbons and made a belt. And that was just glued on with liquid glue. Okay. So the last thing that she needs is maybe a name tag. You could name her whatever you want to, but because this is just my worry warrior, I just called her Carol's Worry Warrior. Now, it's kind of a long stretch from when we first talked about these little worry dolls that children in the Pueblo culture could make and put under their pillows and tell their worries to. And even though this is big and made out of all recycled things, I think a child would still love and be very proud of this creation. So the next thing is, because this is 2020, some people might be worried about the coronavirus. So we're going to make this worry warrior very safe from that.
We should name her Corona.
We could name her Corona. Queen Corona. She will help maybe keep you safe too. And she'll definitely remind you to wear a mask when you go out in public. So we hope you enjoyed this artful lesson and enjoyed this artful learning.